On July 17th, we're going to have a new moon in the watery sign of Cancer. Now, this new moon has several interesting aspects. We have a cardinal cross with both the north and the south node in anaretic degrees of the Aries, me, and the Libra, we. And this is the start of a new 18-month cycle of where I need to decide where am I going and where do I find a balance of with other people. It's identity. It's me versus we with career, home, work, all aspects of you in the outside world. We also have this lunation that's opposite of Pluto. Pluto is the planet of restructuring or transformation. So it's forcing a transformation of some sort. And then we also have a harmonious aspect with Uranus. Uranus is actually the innovation, the idea of allowing for some of these things to happen. So at this time, you're going to be wanting to initiate. Actually, you're going to be needing to initiate. This cardinal energy from all four signs of the nodes, Pluto and Cancer, is about pushing through, starting something, beginning something. Cardinal energy is wanting to initiate a total change in your life, and everything is now pushing forward with this. It's to transform these areas of your life. Cancer is the sign of the home, family, your roots, your foundation, and new moons. They're perfect for starting projects, beginning things, fresh starts, clean slates, and it's going to be around the themes of self-care, healing, and nurturing and self-love. Hi, I'm your astrologer, Patricia Tate with willowgracemystic.com, and this is your July 17th Cancer new moon astrology forecast for all 12 signs. So let's dive in. Aries Sun and Aries Rising. So for Aries Sun and Aries Rising, the new moon is occurring in your fourth house. So not only do we have the sun illuminating that area, we also have the opportunity for these new prospects, these new opportunities. So remember that it's dark, we can't see, we don't know what's going to be going on, and we have Pluto at the top of your chart in your 10th house saying there has to be some kind of transformation. It's an opposition. It's what is pushing hard against you. It's at 29 degrees, meaning there needs to be some kind of an end to this, some kind of a balance between work and home. We also have the North Node in your first house of self, meaning you need to be focused on your Aries themes of all about you. What about you? And your Libra is the South Node, what you're comfortable with. You're definitely comfortable with sharing with partners and sharing with significant others and best friends and clients and one-on-one. But how do you find this balance of who am I and who am I with the client? Who am I with a partner? How is something that you're doing now going to be transforming? So we also have Uranus in your second house. Uranus is going to help things along. Uranus is in this beautiful aspect of, I'm going to give you this innovation. The innovation is going to come in the form of something that has to do with your self-worth, your cash, your property, your home, and pushing through all of this change. So a new moon in the first house, it can mean that you're torn between your work and your home or your loved ones or heading off for another adventure or things that you want to do. It's how do you bring about something that you want to start that includes all of the things that you want to do, making sure that you put yourself first. So for Taurus Sun and Taurus Rising, we currently have the sun and the moon in your third house. Now, the third house for you is your communication. It's siblings, it's neighbors, it's things that happen close to home. The sun is illuminating some things here, and it's about planting seeds for the future. It has to deal with home and self-care and nurturing and some time alone. Now, we have the opposite of Pluto in your ninth house of I want to travel. I want to remain connected to people that are far away, foreign people, places, things. This is about publishing. This is about legal things. This is about taking classes and workshops. How do we do these things? Is it, can I do it from home? Do I need to travel to do this? The opposition of Pluto means that there needs to be some form of transformation. There something has to give. Now, the other part of the cardinal cross is your north node is in Aries in the 12th house. So Aries in the 12th house is setting aside time for me, for rest, relaxation, to go after what I want to do, to tap into my intuition, my dreams, for self-discovery of. Now, the south node is in Libra. It's in your 6th house. This is the house of I give service to others and I help others and I need to balance my work, my home. And so are you doing that? Are you making sure that the service that you give to others is balanced, that you're not giving too much? Because where the Aries is, your north node, says you need to make sure that you do find this balance to put aside time for you, whether it be for meditation or yoga or just a time out. It's about you initiating this change. Remember that the Aries Libra axis is about the me versus we. So this is you, and this is boundaries with where you volunteer. This is about making sure that you are setting boundaries with your health, your nutrition, your workout regimen, making sure that you set aside time for your better health and well-being. And knowing that something has to transform, something has to give. So with the new moon in your 3rd house, this is about your types of communication. You're going to be very social. You're going to be very curious, but make sure that you're not overscheduled. Just remember to carve out downtime for yourself. Remember that Cancer is the sign of home, which means taking care of your home, your vessel, which is you. Self-love, self-care. Now, since we have Uranus also in a harmonious aspect, Uranus is in your 1st house of self. This is about a transformation of yourself, maybe you taking life by the reins and saying, I do need to carve out this time for myself. I do deserve self-love, self-care in order to transform me. So for Gemini Sun and Gemini Rising, the new moon is occurring in your 2nd house. The 2nd house is your cash, your property, your self-worth. It's how you feel about yourself. So the sun is illuminating it with the sign of Cancer, meaning I need to nurture the self. The moon is there saying I need to have these new moon intentions in order to start some new beginnings. Now, we have Pluto directly across in your 8th house. The 8th house is shared resources. It's things that you share with other people. It is alimony, child support. It is contracts that you have with other people. And so something needs to go through some kind of transformation in that area of your life in order to have these new moon intentions come to fruition. Something has to give. We also have the North Node in the sign of Aries in your 11th house. Now, the 11th house is your personal hopes, dreams, wishes, goals. It's about what you want to do, what you want to initiate. And it's about putting your needs first, the groups in which you participate in order to make those actions happen. The South Node is in Libra. That is in your 5th house. The 5th house is what brings joy to you. And how do you find a balance between it could be children or being childlike or art or creativity. It could be excess of things, like it could be excess of like affairs or gambling. And so with this, it's how do I find a balance between the me and the we, who I am, who am I with this person, with this group, with this significant other, and how does that shape who am I? Now, we also have Uranus in a harmonious aspect, and it's in your 12th house. The 12th house is going to provide you with the inspiration of, I need to go within. Uranus is innovative and it's creative and it's think outside the box. And so you're going to probably want to hunker down a little bit and say, I need to carve out me time. I need to carve out time for self-love, self-care. And in the areas of your 2nd house, of your cash, your property, your self-worth, and how do I balance that and change what I share with others, my creativity, and who I align myself with in order to make that happen. This can come in the form of investigating new side hustles or making bold moves to increase your cash flow, or call in money that is owed to you, or working as a partner with somebody on a team with either friends or colleagues, anything in order to promote your personal success. So for Cancer Sun and Cancer Rising, this is occurring in your first house of self. I love this because this is the ruler of the moon, rules you. It's your first house of self and saying, I need to zero in on what are my long-term dreams. So the sun is already there, making you the spotlight. The moon is there initiating some things or changes that you need to create for yourself. Now, the opposite is Pluto in your seventh house. Pluto is the house, Pluto is the planet of I need to transform. I need to change some things up a bit. The seventh house is partnerships, clients, one-on-one relationships, best friends. It's significant others. It's your +1 house. And so it's about initiating some kind of change in order to create better for you. Now, the North Node is in the sign of Aries at the top of your chart in your career. You taking the initiative to focus on your hopes, your dreams, your career, the legacy that you want to leave behind. It's about me and my career. Your South Node is in Libra. It's about being pulled with family, pulled at home. How do I find a balance between me? What do I want to do in this life? And I want to create this legacy. And there has to be a transformation about the clients that you work with, or the time that you give to significant others or to friends, and the push and pull that you might feel from your home environment. Remember the Aries axis, this is the me versus the we, and this is about finding a balance between the two. And it's not just you with one person, it's you with one person, you with the group, you with a society as a whole. Now, we also have Uranus. Uranus is in a harmonious aspect in your 11th house. I love this because the 11th house is your personal hopes, wishes, dreams. And it's about the groups that you participate with in order to achieve your personal goals for your career. So this is where you are innovative and you're creative and you have these great ideas. So take this time to say, I need to reach my dreams, and what has to transform with partners or significant others or clients, and how do I find the balance between my home and my career and who I align myself with, because I need to be worthy of this. I need to put myself first. This is your self-worth. This is self-love. Nothing should be too ambitious or out of your reach. You can make this happen. So for Leo Sun and Leo Rising, the new moon is occurring in your 12th house. Now the 12th house is the hidden house. The sun has you thinking about feelings of home and nurturing and going within. And the moon is saying, I need to plant some seeds for the future. It feels like you're taking a step back and hibernating a little bit, but it's about planting seeds of growth, of what do you want to see grow for personal gain, like health, mental, physical, spiritual health, well-being. I say this because Pluto is in your 6th house opposite of. Pluto is saying you have to have some kind of transformation. You have to have some kind of balance between who you are, the amount of energy that you give to others, and making sure that you're taking time out for yourself. Remember that the 6th house it's your volunteering, it's your daily habits. And are you taking enough time for yourself and not giving of everything to everybody? Pluto is saying, let's transform this area. Now, we also have this cardinal cross, including the North Node in your 9th house in the sign of Aries. The North Node in your 9th house is, I want to move in this direction. I want to travel. I want to connect with other people. I want to study. It's spirituality. It's understanding things, taking classes, connecting with others far and wide. And it's about initiating this change. Now, the South Node is in Libra, where we need to find the balance, because Aries is about me, Libra is about we. How do we find this balance of we and this communication of people that are close to home, your neighbors, your siblings? It's writing and journaling, but it's doing things that are closer to home. So something has to give here. This inner energy is like saying, I need to push forward with, I need to take some time for me, some self-love. And how do I do this? Well, Uranus is in a harmonious aspect at the top of your chart in the sign of Taurus. So Uranus there is where you have this innovation of, I want to do this for my career. I want to leave this legacy. I'm going to be in the spotlight because of this happening. So make the necessary changes, plant those seeds, make sure that they include some self-care, some self-love, and make sure that you're balancing your time of yourself with others with a focus on travel, innovation, your career, and taking time out for you. So for Virgo Sun and Virgo Rising, this new moon is occurring in your 11th house. So the sun is illuminating your hopes, your wishes, your dreams, your goals, your spirituality of who you are in connection with in order to transform those dreams into a reality. The moon is saying we now need to plant some seeds for the future in order to make this happen. This is the house of friendships and networking. And so where are the difficulties? Where do we have to push through in order to have this change? Well, Pluto is in your 5th house. This is the house of children, being childlike, art, music, creativity. And so this is an anaretic degree of 29 degrees. It's saying, look, we have to have some kind of transformation in order to make this happen. We also have the North Node. Your North Node is in the sign of Aries in your 8th house of shared resources, of how do I go after these shared resources? How do I connect with others in order to manifest my dreams, in order to, now this could be with cash, with property, it's signed documents, it's alimony, child support, it could be any contracts that you have with others. The South Node is in Libra, where you need to find the balance. Libra is in your 2nd house of your personal cash, property, and self-worth. And so we have this hard balance between what is mine, what is somebody else's, where am I, and where are you? This is where are my dreams? What are the dreams of others? How do I align myself? How do I make these things happen? We push through with Uranus. Uranus is a harmonious aspect in your 9th house in the sign of Taurus. So Uranus is innovative. I want to travel. I'm willing to connect with other people, places, and things from far away. I'm willing to try new things. I'm willing to explore. I'm willing to do these things in order to make my hopes, my wishes, my dreams, my aspirations come true. I want to connect up with these people and share things with these people, commitments with others, whether it be through friendship or networking. It's about collaboration in order to have these long-held dreams in order for them to come true. It's about a willingness and being emotionally vulnerable and taking care of yourself and also fostering camaraderie between you and others. So for Libra Sun and Libra Rising, this is a really big time for you because not only do we have the new moon activated in your 10th house of career. So right now, your job, your career, you are in the spotlight of how people see you, the legacy that you want to leave behind. It's really important about you on a pedestal, and that's what's being seen. It's about planting these seeds for the future, starting off with this clean slate of this is really what I want to manifest. Now, the opposition is Pluto in your house of home. What has to transform with home, property, family, your foundation? Something has to give here. Something has to push. It's about initiating change. Now, we have the North and the South Node. The North Node is pointing you in the direction of your 7th house of partnerships, one-on-one with clients, your significant others, your relationship with clients and friends. Now, that is the direction in which we're supposed to go, which is more about me-centered. The Libra, is the south node of how do we find balance between what you want and what you want when collaborating with others. Remember that this north node and south node is the me versus we, of me versus a partner, me versus a group, me versus society as a whole. Where are you in connection to those things? It's about a new direction of, and how do we go about doing that? Well, we look to the harmonious aspect of Uranus. Uranus is in your 8th house of shared contracts, shared resources. So what will you be sharing, these connections or contracts that you could be signing with others in order to have you reach these goals? Your 10th house with this new moon there, it's so auspicious because it's reflecting the bigger picture of your professional aspirations. It's about this brilliant idea that you're sharing with others, and it's your call to your potential. Now, this could be new clients or these dream positions. It has something to do with all of those topics rolled into what are you going to do in order to leave this lasting legacy, and finding balance between home and this change between you and you connecting with others. So for Scorpio Sun and Scorpio Rising, this new moon is occurring in your 9th house. This is going to be an opportunity for you to jump into higher learning or to travel, to look for adventure. This is going to be out of your comfort zone. The sun is already illuminating that this is the direction in which you're supposed to be going or traveling or meeting with these people. The moon is saying you need to set these intentions in order for this to manifest in the future. Remember that this is higher learning, education, becoming a student, becoming a teacher. It's also about publishing and getting the works published. Now, the opposition is Pluto. Pluto is in Capricorn. It's about creating these great works. It's about connecting with things and people that are closer to home. This could be siblings, or it could be neighbors, or taking classes and workshops that are close to home. But it's also writing and journaling these great works that you have. And it's about, it's time, initiate this change. Now, the north and the south nodes are also in cardinal signs. Your north node is in the sign of Aries in your 6th house of, I need to find a balance between my home, my work. I need to make sure that I'm taking care of me and putting my habits on a regular schedule. I need to initiate that. I need to make sure that I'm not giving of my time all the time, because this is also where we volunteer. Now, the south node is in Libra in your 12th house, needing rest, needing recovery. And how do we find this balance between what I want and the needs of others? Remember that the Aries Libra axis is about the me versus we, of what do I want and what do other people want or need. This could be through clients. This could be through significant others. This is you with the universe. This is you with the groups that you're participating in. And the 12th house is saying, I need to go within. I need to tap into my intuition, my dreams, my spirit guides, my anything that has to do with the unseen in order to manifest what I want to happen. We look to Uranus because it's in this harmonious aspect of where do we find this innovation to manifest all of these topics, and it's in your 7th house of partnerships. This can be partnerships, significant others, clients, best friends, one-on-one relationships. All of these topics are going to be tied into what do you want to start? What do you need to start? Something with higher learning. But this moon is challenging you to take care, have self-care, push yourself outside of your comfort zone. Hone your skills. Your moment for learning and taking this leap of faith, it is now. And so use all of these opportunities to now push yourself outside of. So for Sagittarius Sun and Sagittarius Rising, this new moon is occurring in your 8th house. Now, the 8th house represents your cash and property that you have in joint resources or joint contracts with others. alimony, child support. It's also the house of emotional bonds. So this is going to be a really good time for you to meditate on these shared finances that you have with others and reflect on more of what are your needs, what are your personal needs, and standing up for what makes you feel more comfortable, more safe, more secure. It's about taking care of yourself. So we have the sun illuminating this area, saying this is the area that you need to focus on, and the moon is saying let's set some intentions for the future. How do I manifest my best and highest good of getting what I need? Well, we look to Pluto. Pluto is in your second house of your self-worth, your personal cash, your property. And are you doing things at the cost of your own self-worth in order to please others? Are you focusing on what are your needs and what are your goals? We look to the north and the south node because they're shifting into, the north node is shifting into Aries, into your fifth house of what is play, what is children, what is childlike, what is art and music and creating things. It's also affairs. It is the house of what brings joy to you. You needing to take the initiative and go after what brings you pleasure, what brings you joy, initiating these things in your life. Now, the south node is in Libra, also another cardinal sign of I need to push through change. Is this you initiating change with, I need to focus on my goals, my hopes, my wishes, my dreams, and I need to align with groups that are in alignment with that. And that might mean shifting gears with some groups that you're part of. Remember that the Aries Libra axis is me and we. How do I find a balance between what do I want and what are the needs of others? And it might mean that some of your goals are shifting because this is about focusing on what self-care, self-love, and what you need in order to move forward. Now we look to Uranus for this innovation. Uranus is in your sixth house. This is your daily habits and your service to others. And how do you put limits on your daily service to others to make sure that you're not just volunteering and becoming a slave to, but you're finding a balance between your home and your work? Are you taking care of your daily habits? Are you taking time out for your mental, physical, spiritual health and well-being? All of this is to revolve around home and what makes you feel happy, comfortable, and self-love, self-care. So for Capricorn Sun and Capricorn Rising, this new moon is occurring in your seventh house of partnerships. It's your relationships, it's your best friends, your significant others, and it's your one-on-one clients. So the sun is saying, hey, we should be focused on this area of your life, all types of partnerships, with the intention of who am I in these one-on-one relationships. The moon is saying set your intentions because things are about to change, whether it's platonic, romantic, professional. All of these things are on your mind at this time. Now, Pluto is in your first house of self. This is you are going to have to initiate the changes. Pluto is where the transformation is going to be coming from. It's going to have to come from you, the way that you express it, the way that you bring it out, your words, your desires, your personal needs. Now, we have the north and the south node also in cardinal signs at your 10th house and your 4th house. So the 4th house is Aries, of the direction in which you're supposed to be focusing on. I need to be focused on my home, my family, my roots, my foundation, my real estate. I need to initiate that change. And I need to find a balance for my south node in Libra with my career, my job, my legacy, me in the outside world. All of this is about pushing a serious change between who are you, who do you align yourself with partnerships or clients or romantic partnerships, and how is this now going to shift the focus of the balance between you and your career, what you initiate and what is already on your plate? How do you find a balance between you and you as a bigger picture, you with your job, you with your friends? Remember that Libra is the sign of balance and wanting balance in all of these areas of your life. Now, we have Uranus in a harmonious aspect in the sign of Taurus in your 5th house. Uranus is where you're going to get the innovation. Uranus is saying, hey, we need to focus on fun and joy and being a child and creativity. And are we creating a child? Are we like giving birth to a child? Or are children the creativity in our life? Or are we focused on a project that you want to start, something for your career, something that maybe you can do from home, that you are going to align yourself up with a professional bond or a partnership that you can align yourself up in order to make these things happen. All of this tells a story of setting intentions that are related to your one-on-one, your 1+1 relationships, whether they're platonic, romantic, professional, your clients, significant other. But this is about getting in sync and moving the ball forward with working together as a pair with somebody in order to manifest these dreams and make them happen. And making sure that this involves self-love, self-care. So for Aquarius Sun and Aquarius Rising, this new moon is occurring in your 6th house. And the 6th house is your daily routine, your service to others, and it's pets. It's about self-love, self-taking care of your temple, your body. It's about a wellness plan or working on, am I setting enough time aside for me and my body, my temple? So the Sun is saying, hey, this is a focus where you might be giving too much to others. You might be volunteering too much, or you might be pulled too much in the direction of work and home. And how do I find this balance? So we look to Pluto because it's in an opposition. Pluto is in your 12th house. The 12th house is needing some kind of transformation. It's saying, I need to meditate. I need to go within. I need to have a place where I can go and focus on my hopes, my wishes, my dreams. I might need to meditate on connecting to spirituality, connecting to my spirit guides. Now, the North Node is in Aries in your 3rd house. And this is about initiating the direction in which you're supposed to be going. The 3rd house is communication and travel, but it's local. And it's about taking care of me. It's about you initiating those changes. It could have with cousins or siblings or classes or workshops or neighbors. This is about things that are close to home. And finding a balance between the South Node in your 9th house of I have connections already to people that are far away, to classes or workshops that are far away. It's about people, places, and things that are foreign to you. It's also about the house of publishing. So maybe working on great works and then having them published later. It's about the me versus we. Aries is you initiating, finding where you are pushing forth. And Libra is how do I find the balance of where I am with others? So who are you at home? Who are you with other people that you connect with that are foreign to you, or in classes with you, or in workshops, or with you as a teacher and them as a student, you traveling? All of those topics are going to be up in the air with the Aries-Libra axis. And so it's the Cardinal, and the Cardinal wants to push forth and initiate changes in all 4 areas of your life. Now we look to Uranus. Uranus is in your 4th house in the sign of Taurus and saying, this is where the innovation is going to be coming from. Maybe you work from home. Maybe it has something to do with home and family and real estate. And so I don't know, are you selling real estate? Are you going to work from home in order to make this happen? Are you going to take your home and travel with your home, as in I'm going to travel, I'm going to use an RV, or I'm going to, it's about your home being the innovative sparks. And maybe this is you meditating and tapping into, I need a safe, secure place at home in order for me to have this innovation, in order for me to focus on what do I need. Remember that a new moon is a time for these new moon intentions to plant the seeds for the future. We tend to think that that the 6th house is all about work, work, work. But we might need a reset or something that has to do with a wellness plan for you. Think about what you can achieve by being healthier, or scheduling your exercise or your meditation or your vacation. these are forms of self-care. This is not just nurturing, but it's about prioritizing yourself, prioritizing therapy and meditation. I know for me that I schedule everything down to when I'm going to vacation and when I'm going to work, and I try not to deviate from that. But with this going on, that might signal a time of I might need to set aside more time for self-care and self-love. So for Pisces Sun and Pisces Rising, this new moon is occurring in your 5th house. I love this because this is about romance and play and creativity and being magical and art and music and either children or being childlike. Your Pisces energy is going to want you to explore these avenues of your life. So we look to the opposite, and that's where Pluto is in your 11th house. And so you have all these dreams and desires. You might have to realign yourself with your new hopes, wishes, and dreams. Remember that you're starting these new intentions about what brings you joy. And the 11th house is my hopes, my wishes, my dreams, and who I align that with in order to achieve those things. And so if you have these new dreams, you might need to switch the groups or your social circles or your teams in order to manifest this and make this happen. This is something that you have to do. And Pluto is saying, look, let's just transform this area of your life. It is okay to release and let go. It's a cardinal sign. It's pushing you to do this. We also look to the North and the South node. The North node is in your 2nd house of your self-worth, your cash, your property. You have the ability to make this happen. You have to do the initiating. This is for your self-worth in order to make you feel good, making yourself a priority. Now, the South node is in the 8th house of your shared resources that you have with others. It's your the house of your alimony, your child support, the contracts that you have where you work with others. It's also where we have this deep emotional connection with others. And so it's about finding a balance. Remember that Aries and Libra is about me versus we. How do I manifest what I want and still have a connection to others on a deep level? Well, it's about finding a balance of what are my needs and making sure that those needs are not superseded by the needs of others. And it could mean you having to switch some things around in your life. Well, okay, it's not could, it's definitely. You're going to be switching some things, and it's about pushing you and forcing you in that direction. It's initiating this change that you need to do. Now, Uranus is in your 3rd house. The 3rd house for you is communication. It's neighbors, it's siblings, it's things that are close to you. And so how are you going to make this happen? How are you going to manifest this? By using good communication, speaking from the heart, saying that you're not leaving a group because of them, but this is for you to take care of what are your needs. This is about self-love, self-caring, and your home, your family, your roots, your foundation of things that you need to fulfill your needs on a deep soul basis. So as always, I would love to hear about how this resonates with you in the comments below. And for an individual reading, you can schedule at willowgracemystic.com. And to get updates as soon as they're released, please subscribe.